Officially, I'll title my talk today, Beyond White Racism, Beyond Civil Rights, Human Rights, and into African Revolution. I'm going to center on the concept of revolution today.
And probably mixed group. The tragic reason I'm telling you this because I'm going to talk to you as psychology students or behavioral scientists, black, because there's only one fight left, just one, and that's for the fight for the black mind, and we are losing. We are losing. You see, because if you stop to think about it, some of the things I'm going to show you, and then we're going to give some solutions. Today I'm going to tell you some things that you will reject, but that we can do, and that we should be about doing. And they're very simple things, something you can do in your day-to-day life. The first thing you must recognize is as a black student, you have a responsibility that I just cannot tell you what it is. I mean, it is so awesome. But yet, you are no different than a Palestinian student. Students your age in Palestine are carrying guns from Palestinian students. Israeli students your age, Jew students your age are carrying guns, in addition to going to school, carrying guns. In terms of Zimbabwe, students who also had to go to school had to carry guns. All we're asking you to do is what? Go to school. And you are carrying guns, but against the wrong people. You're carrying guns, unfortunately, but against each other. Now, that becomes what I deal with is the difference between what we have. By going to the University of Chicago and being trained there, and as Harold said, there's a difference between education and training. It is impossible, and I will say this to you openly, it is impossible for the Georgia school system to educate black children, but they can train you in those skills we need. Your education must come from the black community and from black people. There's a difference between education and training, and that's where I want to start this off with, because a lot of people get confused about that. In Alabama, with all black teachers, they taught me how to think. Not so much what and what to think, but basically how to think. They also taught me group behavior, not individualistic behavior. Now that is what training does. Training teaches you to operate against the best interests of your own group. It teaches you individual behavior rather than group behavior. Education is a liberating force. A liberating force. So I'm going to go through quickly some of the things on why you should learn the skills. And nothing I say, I hope, nothing I say will imply that we are not faced with a very shrewd, uncompromising, dangerous enemy. Don't ever take it in your mind that these white people are going to be easy to be had. That ain't going to be true. This is a hard fight because they have the institution and we have the people. You see, and as long as you control institutions, you can control the behavior of people. Now, with that in mind, listen to it carefully. The very first lesson you must learn as students is that the fundamental mistake you can make is to try to use white definitions to explain or analyze black phenomena. That's the first mistake you make. And anytime you use their definitions that are given to you, you're in trouble. Now, the second lesson I go against Harold here. I do not think you should tell your white professors nothing. I do not think you should argue with them.
You know, when white people start talking about, you're special. You're so different. You're not like the others. You start believing that shit until the cops pull you over. You go, well, I was special. Yeah, nigga, just put your head down and keep it. I'll put a special bullet in your ass. That's what happens, man. I see why Richard Pryor is crazy. It just takes away all your rage, you know? That's why he ran around going, oh, goddamn it. I just don't want to get too comfortable. Brothers can't afford to get too comfortable, you know? Because that's when you become the pawn. That's when they use your ass. Anytime white people want to smooth some shit over, they go get that rich nigga and put you on TV to represent the people, you know? You have you asking your questions like, Damon, now that you made this $13 million, and we're not counting. Now that you've made all this money, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out at you. You respond any way you want. Is there racism in America? You be sitting there thinking about that paycheck, talking about, no, sir. If there is, I ain't seen none.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast, and definitely back up in the building. Shouts out to everybody that's listening. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Let me see. So my computer is definitely freezing up right now. I'm trying to get it to work right. All right, here we go. My bad. So yeah, man, I'm just wanted to come on here to holler at y'all real quick, and I'm not going to talk about. I'm gonna say I'm not going to talk about nothing too serious, right? And I'm pretty sure y'all probably already seen most of the stuff that I'm gonna show today. So I just wanted to. I'm like, last time I didn't even talk about it, but at this point, I'm like, yo, I might as well, right? So I don't plan on being on here too long, so you can take this one for what it's worth, But before we do that, I gotta go back and at least say something about history, I guess, So I was just looking at this one, the York riots in 1969, you know what I'm saying, when the black community set Pennsylvania on fire, and I want to play this for you.
It was the summer of '68, and the city of York was a racial powder keg ready to explode. Many blacks were angry because they felt mistreated by a police force that was patrolling their community with dogs and an iron fist.
It was toxic. It was very angry time.
Jeff Kirkland is a Yorker and an African-American historian who was 17 years old at the time of the riots.
Everybody knew it was the time it was going to be an explosion. It was just wondering what was going to be the spark that kicked off the tinderbox.
The spark turned out to be a shooting on August 4th, 1968, here at Huffman's Meat Market on the 200 block of South Penn Street in York's West End. Kirkland says he was there when 58-year-old Chester Roach, who lived on the second floor of Huffman's, shouted at a group of black teenagers to keep down the noise.
He kept hollering out his window.
No, what he's saying, old white dude was yelling at some black teenagers, mad as hell. You know how they do. Like, y'all making too much damn noise. Shut up, you N-words. That's what happened.
And finally got his gun and fired up in the air. And people start running.
Kirkland says Roach also opened fire with a shotgun, and the pellets hit 10 people, including Kirkland's younger brother.
So they wasn't listening to him, and this white boy shot out the window, and then with a some kind of handgun, and then with the shotgun.
The police eventually came and took Roach away. Later that night, Huffman's was firebombed and the building was looted.
And by the way, they did not arrest him because I don't know what they're talking about here. Because the police said that the dude was acting in self-defense to stop a break-in. That's why everybody got mad, because they did not arrest the dude. You know what I'm saying? They said the black people was instigating all of that. And the white dude who just shot into a crowd and shot several people, they said, oh, it was justified, So I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Night, Huffman's was firebombed and the building was looted.
And they burnt that.
The building has long since been torn down here on South Penn Street.
See, this is what happened. This is what they was doing back. Like when they did that, they was like, all right, we can just burn this thing down. Because they was trying to make him come out the house because, they was going to tear his ass up. Right. But he wouldn't come out the house. So what they did was set the store under his thing on fire. Right. To force him to come out the house.
A street which surprisingly still looks much the same as it did back in '68. As for Chester Roach, he was charged with aggravated assault, but was acquitted for lack of evidence.
People were just fed up, said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns.
Say that again, right? Because now we ain't even got it, right? Talking about it may not have been. It may have been justice. How about that?
Right. Said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns and started standing off sentries in the neighborhood. And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
Ain't that something? So when there was injustice then, the same as it is now, because it is true. Like when you really look at history, you see it's like nothing is new. It's like the same thing over and over, they, like our grandparents and great grandparents, was just regular people, just like we are, trying to live their life and dealing with this thing. But this is how they responded, as opposed to how we respond. Where they was not putting up. They was like, people was fed up. They went home and got their guns, and then anybody who was in the neighborhood who ain't had no business, including the police, got ran up out of there. And this is how it went most of the time. This is why if you look at Black history, you'll see a lot of times where you ran them. If you actually look at it, you have it's way more victories of you just standing your ground. You know what I'm saying? Of you going out there to protect somebody, stopping you. Like, we hear about all of the tragic stuff, and that's the part of why I like about Black history, because when I start looking into it and not just a certain fact, you start seeing a pattern of Black people like not putting up with the nonsense, like, what I'm saying, until today. So I just want him to say this. Well, I'm gonna keep going.
And started standing off sentries in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
York finally quieted down when the summer ended and the schools went back into session. But clashes between blacks and the police continued. York College professor Peter Levy, the author of a new book on rioting in America.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. Most of the authors, and like beyond the authors that we know, but of specific events and things, especially here in America. What's going on, Raw? Of all of these things specifically here in America, is these fools, like this fool, making money off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he has this book about blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Because they actually get like more access to information too. But that's another
Levy,
story.
the author of a new book on rioting in America, says one of the most notable incidents was the use of police dogs on black youths after a September football game.
That they viewed the blacks more as the black community more as something to contain and control, rather.
You heard him. He let it slip out a little bit, but it's okay. We don't give a damn.
The blacks more as the black community more as something to contain and control, rather than as a place to protect their public safety.
And that set the stage for York's riots in the summer of '69, which turned deadly for a rookie city cop and a South Carolina woman visiting her family. The two.
Yeah, so they lit and by the way, I appreciate you for coming, Raw. And this is the main reason why I wanted to show this one, because about what black people's doing. I just want you to see how we responded, because we think things is different. Like, it was George Floyd's in 1969, but this is how they responded.
Lack of evidence.
People were just fed up, said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns and started standing off sentries in the neighborhood. And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
York finally quieted down.
That's now, he's like, it might not be, it ain't wrong, I can tell you that. I would definitely say that it's not wrong. And anybody who ain't belong, anybody white, including the police, got shot at and ran up out the neighborhood. You understand? So it's not like new or like even crazy, some of the stuff that when we say like protecting yourself and your communities and your neighborhoods and running these fools up out of there. You know what I'm saying? When they come over there with that nonsense, you know what I'm saying? You make it make sense for them, And that's one way that's the only way to communicate, you know what I'm saying? Now, even with this thing, right? This sister here was in 1960s. Now, this was
Lily Bell Allen got out of the car, raised her.
This is Lily Bell Allen, right? This sister here. She was visiting from like South Carolina, I think, visiting Pennsylvania, her sister and her mom and her dad. And they were all in the car, her parents and her sister. Her sister was driving, right? And this sister here, Lily Bell Allen, noticed a white boy on a roof, a sniper, right? So then she started paying toward surroundings and started seeing a a mob, a posse of them, you know what I'm saying, them gangs, you know how they got a running gangs, you know, and they was all armed. And this sister here, right, you know, she got out of the car and had her hands in the air and screaming like, yo, please don't shoot. We leaving, because they was trying to hit a U-turn, but their car stalled out. You know what I'm saying? And so they lit this sister up. Like, they shot her, I don't know how many times, right? But they found 7 different types of bullets, you know, from 7 different types of guns in this sister, you know. And she just got out the car with her hands in the air, like, please don't shoot. I'm just trying to turn around and leave, you know. And then they shot her anyway, right? But this, I had to show you this because this, like, it angered me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? A little bit.
Miss Lily Bell Allen got out of the car, raised her hands in the air, and said, "Don't shoot." At that point, there was 1 shot, and then there was 100 shots.
I think about her.
This is her sister. I think this was the sister who was driving. I'm not maybe wrong, but I think so. I think this is her sister. Listen to what her sister said after all of these years. Listen to what she said.
Then there was 100 shots.
I think about her today, wondering how she would react to what we are doing and how things are right now as to those people that killed her, you know. She would probably be forgiving, you know. That's the kind of person she was.
We don't know. We don't know because they shot her like 100-something times. So we don't know. Like, she would probably be forgiven. Like, they didn't even go to jail, I don't think. Like, nobody got charged or nothing like that. Nobody, no justice or nothing. But the way that we are today, she would forgive them. Like, how are we today? Like, what's going on today that I need to know about? There's no offense to this. You know, she's an elderly woman. You know, there's no disrespect or offense to her. But it made me mad a little bit, you know? Like, why would you say that?
You know, she would probably be forgiving, you know. That's the kind of person she was.
One crisp morning in April 2000, along a dusty road in East Manchester Township, Donnie Altland stopped running away. He had made peace with his family, asked God for forgiveness, pulled a .22 pistol out of his pickup, and squeezed a bullet into his temple. The secret he...
So that's the one positive thing. One of the dudes shot himself. All right. So if all of them can get that plague to want to do that, then we'll be talking. Then we can honor John Brown. Yeah, I mean, it's this spooked out nature. I get it, Raw.
He held for 3 decades was out. It was an awful secret about belonging to a gang that drew a line around its neighborhood on the month of July the 21st, 1969, then grew bloodthirsty, awaiting a carload of black people. Lily Bell Allen, the daughter of a Baptist minister,
There you go. So she might have forgiven her. She was the daughter of a Baptist minister, right? So a Baptist minister who was in the damn car with her. She was with, I think, the woman earlier who said she might have forgiven her. I think she was driving, and their parents were in the back seat, and they tried to turn around, but their car stalled out. So, you know, she was the daughter of a Baptist minister who was in the car,
awaiting a carload of black people. Lily Bell Allen, the daughter of a Baptist minister, became the sacrificial lamb that hot summer evening. The 27-year-old divorced mother of 2 innocently stumbled into the middle of a city's civil.
So she had 2 children back home. I don't think they were with her. I think they was back where they were, you know.
Racial war just north of the Mason-Dixon line. But no one would win this war. Each side would blame the other. Some would call it even, as 1 black woman and 1 white police officer lost their lives. After 1 week of fighting, the war ended. But
so they said, oh, it's even. Okay, if that's how we're doing it, right? If we want to get even, we got, like, we want every one of us that got, you know, faced the end. matter. So if we doing 1 for 1, I mean, we can definitely do that, you know. But check this out though. Now we're gonna go on to something else, right? Cause they mad cause like Elon Musk tweeted this. He said in the 1950s, blacks killed about 600 more whites each year than whites kill blacks. Now we kill nearly 1,500 more each year. Right? So I'm just saying, right? Well, instead of trying to convince them and tell them how stupid they are and why it isn't true, how about you? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, you should probably keep your hands to yourself, you know, because apparently now, you know, listen, if that's what it is, then all of them were self-defense, right? So that means it's okay to defend yourself, just like let's hear what my brother here said.
And although it might not have, people were just fed up, said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns and started standing off sentries in the neighborhood. And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
York finally quieted down when the summer ended and the schools went back into session.
Yeah, so there you go. Anybody who wasn't supposed to be there, right? Maybe that's what he's talking about. So maybe we can. All right, now, like I said, man, y'all probably seen a lot of this stuff, right? And Raw, you probably won't even want to watch this because you know, I'm not going to go into anything crazy today, you know. But I do want to just show and talk about a couple things people might have seen, you know. Now, I stayed away from this because y'all tripping. I think black people is getting sucked up into this whole political thing right now, you know. And, you know, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's like we sucked up in it and it doesn't make any sense, really. And we sitting here and even the ones who are against it sitting there arguing about two old white dudes. Who cares about either one of them? So I was like, let me not even talk about it. But you know what? I'm going to do that anyway, right? So, because I mean, I think we are definitely sick in the head, you know. And I wanted to show, and I tried not to,
if
but
only the comedians.
Now to bring this up, you know. Now this dude here is sitting here comparing Donald Trump to Emmett Till. You understand? Like how disrespectful that is, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should put him on that list of 1,500, you know what I'm saying? Or anybody disrespecting somebody like this, maybe they make the list, you know, if that's what happens. Oh, anyway, I'll say if that's what happens, maybe they should make the list. If that's what they say happens, of course.
Only the media were kind of making fun of the powerful, right? That's kind of what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to afflict the comfort. How does it go again? Comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, right? Comedians, media, journalists, and it's the opposite. And it's wrong. And they're letting them get away with so much. Something else about juries, they're hiding behind this verdict.
All right, we don't care about any of this stuff.
Yorkers as he is. Number one, he doesn't have any peers. He's a former president. It is a unique position constitutionally. We really do have impeachment for offenses by him. That was an appropriate forum. They did it often enough, right? But not this. But you notice, like, a jury of their his peers. A jury did it. A jury did it. I've heard that excuse before. Emmett Till, young man beaten to death all the way back in the 1950s. What did he do? He said hello to a white woman.
Yo, you see how savages operate? You try to explain yourself with these savages? It's crazy to me. It's really, really crazy.
Excuse before. Emmett Till, young man beaten to death all the way back in the 1950s. What did he do? He said hello to a white woman, something like that. And an all-white mob beat him to death. And 3 people, I believe, were arrested. And the jury said, we don't see no problem here, and let him go, right? A jury.
So all of a sudden they do understand that there's a problem in the court system or whatever they're trying to say, and there's discrimination. So we Negroes can understand, I guess, because it happened to Emmett Till. What? But, you know.
Of the accuser's peers found nothing to see here. So jury, I'm told, gets it wrong sometimes. Seems to be a lot of people who think that a lot of murderers were let free that day. All right, so we've seen it.
And one time they got right is when the glove didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? That was one time they got it right. So we're gonna talk about the times they got it right. You know. Now they also been talking about this fool going to like that black church and all of this stuff, because like, and it is crazy how they keep like bringing up like black people and all this stuff. But what's really irritating me is like, even in real life, most of the people I know, it's like, oh Lord, oh, we got to do something to save. They don't literally say this, but to save democracy, you know what I'm saying? But they do be like, yo, we can't let this guy get in the thing. And I don't give a damn. Fool got arrested. They all should be in jail, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they? Right. But I want to play it. Okay, we oh yeah, I guess I can play this right now. Because I want you to hear what this fool said. Now he's slipping. Of course he doing the, like, this was supposed to be later. I guess we can come back.
You about specifically what we've been hearing from Republicans and from Donald Trump, claiming the Democrats are illegally weaponizing the Justice Department against Mr. Trump. Why is it appropriate for Donald Trump then to call for prosecuting his political opponents, including President Biden?
Well, let me also explain this one. Now, what he did say is that we have always had this kind of a gentleman's agreement that you do not go after the political leaders of the opposition party.
Wait, what? They've always had an agreement not to arrest each other and put each other in jail? What? And we'll be like, oh, it's 2024. I can't believe this. What? They've always had this agreement never to go after each other, like, no matter if they're like pedophiles or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then their children will be like, well, that was 200 years ago. That's just how they operate, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I thought, you know. But anyway, so I guess they violated the thing by going after each other. See, he messed up trying to cape too much and just kind of let it slip. Oh, yeah, we all know that there's been this thing where they're not going to arrest each other. Well, duh, you know what I'm saying? They're all on the same side, aren't they? You know, they're for this thing that y'all call America, you know. They're all white nationalists, and even the black ones want to be white nationalists. So, but anyway.
He said mostly hates Trump, and that's just fine by him. As Joe was rubbing elbows with Jimmy Kimmel and George Clooney, Trump was mixing it up in Detroit.
We've done more for, and I say this, I say it proudly, more for the black population than any president since Abraham Lincoln. That's a big statement.
And that's funny because Abraham Lincoln ain't do a goddamn thing. Name one thing that he did. I dare you right now. Name one thing that he did. So, I guess it makes sense, right? They both ain't do
than any president since Abraham Lincoln.
Nothing.
That's a big statement. And crooked Joe Biden has done nothing for you except talk. It's only talk. It's all talk. He gets nothing. He gets nothing for anyone who was lost. He's in Europe. He's walking around. He doesn't know where the hell he is, and he's supposed to help Detroit. I don't think so.
All right. And then I wanted to show this one.
Still working for the votes. And he's getting a lot of respect just for showing up.
President Trump, I'm so humble.
Listen to this fool. It's on every side. Like, oh, for last week we saw a fool in a dress kissing an old white dude's hand, who probably wiped his butt with his hand, right? And now we see this fool kissing this dude butt straight up, you know.
President Trump, I'm so humble that you would be here. President Obama never came to the hood, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
President Joe Biden.
Surprised even be like, oh, Clinton ain't never come to the hood either. Except for Clinton probably did go to the hood to go molest black girls. I don't know.
Right. President Joe Biden, he went to the big NAACP dinner, but he never came to the hood. So thank you.
So thank you. Thank you. Now, listen, like, because this is how a lot of these fools sound, and this is why I didn't want to abort it, because y'all sound like that one side or another, and I'm like, let me just leave it alone, because I'm like, let y'all get this clone energy out of your body. The clone chip has been activated. You know what I'm saying? They know the proper things to say that activates your damn clone chip. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, let's be real, I don't know. I can't say it to you. I don't know how to explain it to you. All right. One bird, two wings. You know what I'm saying? Look, he said it better than I could. I'll let this brother here say it.
Including President Biden.
Well, let me also explain this one. Now, what he did say is that we have always had this kind of a gentleman's agreement that you do not go after the political leaders of the opposition party. When Donald Trump was president,
we always had this agreement. All right, we on the same damn team. But Negroes is going to find a way. Of course, we know that. Oh yeah, well, I want to make a little bit of money. So what's the quickest way? By sucking up and kissing everybody's handpots, and still and humiliating yourself, and it looks disgusting, right? But because now normally I would not play this chick here because it's a really, really super irrelevant, it is. But it's kind of a funny thing that was amusing to me that happened to somebody like her, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to use her, who doesn't know what the hell she is even saying, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, right, because this is the lesson here, right? Because this was a conversation, right? How fools like this say stuff just to make black people mad. And that's often why I say stuff or show y'all stuff to make y'all mad. So y'all stop sitting there explaining and don't care. Who cares? Just say something back to them. You know what I'm saying? That's, they easily contradict yourself. Just take your emotions out of it. You know what I'm saying? And so when a lot of us do, we like, yo, let me explain to you, why what you're saying is wrong and all of this. No, like, forget all of that, right? Unless you're using it for a lesson, right? Because I do that sometimes, right? But I like to think that I'm using it for a lesson. I may not be, but whatever. So I'm going to play this chick here.
Reparations from slavery and black victimization is about to be shoved down our throats for the most wretched holiday in America. BLM raised millions, but what did they do for black lives? It is outrageous to see people asking for reparations, even though they never went through slavery. These ungrateful people should be celebrated because they were born in the greatest nation to ever exist.
She said, you ungrateful fools should be celebrating. Oh, thank God for some fools is. Thank God for slavery. I'll be in Africa playing to a tree. Right? Some of us have made this argument, not knowing that we make this argument, and then y'all get mad at me for pointing it out. But I'm not gonna do that no more. I'm gonna make fun of them fools. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all always want to talk about scammers and all of this stuff, but y'all notice that y'all only got energy for other black people, right? And to me, the way that I see it is like a minstrel show, a big ass minstrel show. Y'all might as well put the makeup on, the tap dance shoes on. All of that, you know what I'm saying? The whole outfit, right? Because that's the only thing that we got energy for is, why about? So we're going to talk about scam. Because one thing that we like to say is, this stuff don't go on in other communities. Like, look at these people. They don't do, like, what are you talking about? Like, you get the negative traits from them. You know what I'm saying? You picked up their negative traits and none of the self-defense and, like how America spends the most money on self-defense more than anybody. Like, that's a damn trait you pick up. That's an American thing you learn. That's the one thing you learn. how you want to be American, and that's the one thing you don't learn. That's crazy. But you fool. Okay.
These ungrateful people should be celebrated because they were born in the greatest nation to ever exist. Here's a tip. If you don't like America, kindly get the fuck out.
All right, so, and then, you know, this girl goes on and on, but she tries too hard though, you know. You know, you could tell that, and the thing about her is that she's an actual politician or whatever, who's a Republican, you know, on the Republican plantation side of the thing, and escaping one plantation for another. I mean, I just don't understand.
Like this one.
There's a lot of Hamas people coming for me on my social media.
Yeah, they did a good job of destroying the Lord.
Around?
Right, so you see this fool, and then she's gonna try with the thing to say F around and find out, and then try to, you know, everything black people stuff. You know what I'm saying? They imitated, but then they also criminalize what they imitate. Right. Mike does not mean right. I don't know, bro. Like, because if you goddamn make them understand what is right sometimes. Now, I only show this chick here, right? Because it's irrelevant. I wasn't gonna show her, but it's this whole conversation here because black people get triggered and all of this stuff, and then that's why we always argue about this little insignificant stuff. That's why I would want, you know, people who think differently to be able to come here, as long as we agree on making this happen for us to end whatever it is they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I want to show this, because this is kind of what happens to fools like this, because we all know that this chick here, but now this white girl here. Now this is funny, you know. Now I didn't care like about this. That's why I didn't talk about it. But black people was making on social media was making a thing about it. But y'all give them money when y'all do that, and they do this on purpose, right? To make you do this. And this sister here, there's no disrespect to her. You know, she kind of just follows certain people who are clowns. Let's be real, are clowns. You know, and that's okay, let me take that back, right? Whose coonship has been activated to a certain degree, right? But they still talk blackness and love everybody. But anyway, all right, let me get to it. Now, this is what everybody was mad at.
We are all about equity and inclusion here, right? So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas.
And that's what everybody was mad, because she said the N-word or whatever, you know. And you could tell she did it on purpose. She looked right at it and all of this. Now she's weird, right? She's like, I don't know why she be so red, you know. Now this is what everybody was like mad at and blowing her up, you know, with this whole thing. Now, this fool here, you know, because he does this, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that they're cloned too. And if I say you're a clone, they look at me, everybody get mad when I be like, well, you be cloning too, bro. Like, you're a clone too. Like, these are some of your cloning tendencies, right? And so this sister is like, bro, like, y'all stop promoting these fools Jones so they can get money. Y'all on these apps that y'all not getting money for. You know what I'm saying? Y'all helping these fools get money just because they do that. Now, look, this white girl sit here and said, thanks to the black community for helping launch my new career, all right? Because she used you like puppets, you know?
I am so tired of passivity masquerading in the black community as
to sitting there explaining yourself about why. Let me break down racial. You see, in 1822, when the first, that's why you're like the hell with all of that. They're Neanderthal. They have Neanderthal energy and blood and DNA, bro. Like, what are you explaining? And that's passivity, ignoring them, because that's how they get their rocks off, by sitting there getting you to explain your damn self to them. You might as well show up with "I am a man" shirt on. I'm sorry, but it'd be making me mad, you know, because that's how y'all be looking at me when y'all be talking about all of this stuff, you know. And that's why I purposely talk about stuff that, like, see, y'all don't like it this way, but this is what y'all be doing. It's like chalk nails on the chalkboard, you know.
some kind of deep spiritual enlightenment. I am so tired of this do nothing approach when we are met with years and benefited from points.
Creating multiple, get on this here app, say Jigga with an N, and y'all engaged with it. Creating multiple videos for her to have millions of views, which I'm sure she's monetized and has made money off of y'all in her comments.
Now, for you all who don't know, she's talking about this translucent.
No, and then he gonna show her damn page and show how much he followers. Like, dude, you're promoting her. All right, this is how like slow that we be active sometimes. All right, this is just this form of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to pick on him, even though this dude got a beard thing and blue contacts. You know what I'm saying? Like this beard thing and talk, you know, a little like, you know. What's the first things they mimic? Raw, wait till Raw. I hope you can stay to the end, Raw, because I have something else that I wanted to show you too. And because, you know, I always got to collect the evidence, but I'm going to save it for the end. All right. So we're not going to go on this explanation. And my bad. I shouldn't even had it up that long. But the only reason why I'm talking about this, because, you know, because, yeah, she used black people to get a bunch of money. Right? She was, first of all, working for a black woman, I think, and they then got her fired and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so then she got all of this money and all of this stuff. But it was funny what happened to her. Now, same thing is going to happen to this, you know, weird looking chick, this conquistador chick here, you know. But look at this. So she didn't use black
this
people.
time I have a beef with.
All right. Now, watch this.
I'm talking about. Here's just the rundown of what happened last week. So, trad wife TikToker axed from job after casually saying N-word. The white trad wife TikToker who casually dropped the N-word in a cooking video that went viral on Monday is already paying for her ignorance. The woman at the center of the controversy, Lily Gaddis, referred to her friend's husband as a broken-ass racial slur. In the clip, dropping the racial slur in the slight southern drawl, so naturally, many speculated she must use it in casual conversations. So yeah, pretty clear she's just going for shock value, you know. Obviously.
Right, so she know that, oh, all I gotta say this and black people is gonna get mad, you know, because people do that because we do get emotional in a lot of things, you know. And I'm here, I guess, to set off y'all emotions. And I tell y'all that y'all can always come on here and prove me wrong. But, you know, I'm just pointing out some weaknesses and flaws that I see, you know. And I'm sure I have my own, but, you know.
Obviously trying to be outrageous. So Gaddis, whose TikTok account was taken down by Tuesday evening, boasts 50
blah, blah, blah.
in conservative media.
So there's that. Thank you for helping launch my, you know, and she's like, you all played your role well, like the puppets you are, right? And that's why, you know, I'm like, yo, like, I know I use certain situations, but you use, and I'm not saying that don't even talk about them but don't do it unless you have a lesson or a reason for it. And I like to think that I do. Maybe it don't always reach or whatever, but at least have some kind of thing, other than trying to educate this white bitch here, right? Because they do it on purpose. We're the ones that need the education on how it works. They created it. You know what I'm saying? Well, the hierarchy. I'm not saying they created a race or whatever. They created the hierarchy based off it, because you know us. Oh, come on in here, baby. I'll give you a plate. You know, that was the mentality we had. But yeah, that's what happened.
You all played your role well, like the puppets you are.
Now, only reason why I'm bringing this up now is because I want to play this
the most
part.
unpleasant person ever, which I wouldn't. Oh,
How do we make the best of it?
So
ever, which
so
I
look,
wouldn't put it
this
past
is how
her.
she's using
I'd say the
because I know
provocative-
y'all only like to talk about black people who be because only black, all of these precious, so lovely other groups don't do all of this. Only black people do this. Only black people do this. Like, are y'all kidding me? Like, they are degenerates. Like, we hardly do it compared to them. That's all they do. All right, it's you trying to act like them when you do stuff like that. But
tone of these videos to elicit a reaction from people. So at the very least, this is a persona she's putting on just to draw attention to herself. And if you actually watch some of the more recent videos she's making now, they're all pretty pathetic. So she had an influencer.
I mean, I didn't plan on any of this, but it kind of happened. So I was like, all right, this is what's happening. So how do we make the best of it? You know, it's an opportunity. So I'm definitely going to take the best of it. I don't really like the 9-to-5 jobs anyway. So if I could get into, you know, some sort of conservative media, that would be the plan, obviously. But it just kind of depends. I'm still young right now. I'm not too worried about it, but it's one of those things you just have to kind of take an opportunity. And
like, oh, I want to be like Laura Ingraham. That's what she want to be when she.
And this seems to be an opportunity, so I'm going to just
now,
try to make the best.
I want
of
you to
it,
see what happened to this white girl
and see where
here.
things go.
Now,
I do find Americans very.
No, I know that she's white, right? I know that she's white, but it's interesting because there's several different points to this, right? Several different points that y'all like to bring up all the time too, right? But
some brand
I just want you to see.
So yeah, I do
the
love
funny
that. Like,
part.
it's like she's being chosen for her talent and the target audience, which I think she's miscalculated massively for, because as we're going to get into, she has previously tweeted support of Israel, and also I don't think she was counting on.
Now it turns out this white bitch is a shyster, right? But how did they get a white bitch and a shyster confused? Because they're all the same thing, right? Because she's a white bitch who thinks she's a shyster, right? Who is a shyster, right? They couldn't even tell the damn difference, right? Because it's not a social construct, right? You can look at the white bitch and see she's a white bitch. The thing that they're talking about is they all have Neanderthal blood in them, don't they? They're all Neanderthal. That because I was talking to one dude, he was like, "Oh no, the Jews are white and all this." I'm like, "Dude, stop, bro. The white ones are white. You know what I'm saying? The black ones are trying to be like the white ones, but the white ones are white. You know, and they got the same Neanderthal DNA as you do, fool. So stop it, all right? Because they didn't even know. They were like, yeah, well, look at our Neanderthal DNA. You know, we can't tell if it's a male or a female. That's pretty Neanderthalish, you know.
How absolutely brain rotted these people are. They don't only have adult film brain, they're just absolutely unhinged. So let's get into some of the backlash she's faced. And like I said, I don't think she's long for a career in conservative media. So post a picture, I think, I don't even know who this guy is. She going on some sort of podcast and she says, "Never surrender, patriots," on her Twitter. And I'm not joking, these are all the top comments. "I didn't know you were a man. Two dudes just vibing."
Is that I didn't know you was a man. Two dudes vibing. So even Neanderthals who be attracted to Neanderthal bitches who are built like teenage boys, right? Even they call her a man. Ain't that something?
They're saying you look like a man. No offense, but you look like a gay Jewish man.
Oh, see, you're the only one that kind of like, oh, you look good. Now, I don't know. Maybe she had a hook nose or something. But I don't know. She's a white. See, nobody else built. Nobody else knew that she was because she's just a Neanderthal, just like the rest of them. I know y'all like to try to separate the Anglo-Saxon, and like you can separate them that way, Anglo-Saxon, or you can do French, German, Dutch, you know what I'm saying, Jewish, or you can say Anglo-Saxon, or whatever the hell you want to say. Don't matter. Right? It don't matter.
You look like a dude, built like a dude on the swim team. And then she posts a picture
And they
of her
doing
surfing
this to a white bitch. What you think they're going to do to
bikini.
Negroes?
I don't know if you realize what ecosystem you exist in. Obviously, the replies are not surprising. Aren't you a dude? Immodesty. What a psyop. Trans. Are you AI? You're definitely trans. These people are transvestigating you. Their brains are totally rotted by Twitter, and that's the stuff you see right in this like pretty gross TikTok, which seems to be just like pandering to white supremacists. Basically, she basically drops some more slurs, and she talks about how, you know, the birth rate is declining, so more people should be having kids, and especially white women. And she says, "You can."
Now, this is the funny part, right? So she said the white birth rate is declining. Now they don't even think that she's white, right? But this is the funniest part, right? Because she talked about, and she's a single mom, right? There you go. Because I know, like, y'all think only black people is negative, you know what I'm saying? This is a white Neanderthal shyster who is a single mom, and that's
You can thank her as a white woman, basically. Yeah.
Hey, America. Hey, people not having kids. You are some stupid mother. The birth rate is declining, and what are you doing? You're getting married. Like, why even bother fucking getting married, you loser? You're getting married. You have some fucking dog in a stroller, like a. And then what are you doing? How are you helping America? We're letting the birth rates decline, and I'm speaking particularly to white people.
Yeah, why is her thing always so red? It's just weird. I don't think they're letting their birth rates decline. They just can't reproduce.
Some fucking dog in a stroller, like a. And then what are you doing? How are you helping America? We're letting the birth rates decline, and I'm speaking particularly to white people. So today, I want you to take the time out of your day to thank a single mom, because us girls getting knocked up, we're the only ones helping with the declining birth rate. You're welcome, America.
Then don't worry, everyone coming through.
See, now this is the problem. Now, they said, she talking about the declining birth rate, and they like, your child ain't even white. He was like, just because your children are mixed doesn't mean hers is, right? And then this fool said, man, that baby is not white. Now, if it has a drop of white blood, then it's white. You know what I'm saying? That's the one drop. That's the rule, you know. If it has a drop of white blood, then it is a white baby. You know what I'm saying? Hate to break it to them. That's what she's trying to say, really.
The child isn't white. That baby is not white. It's not helping if your child is mixed. Your child doesn't look white, though, so how does this help us? Lol, race mixing L. And then look at all the replies, like likes and stuff. So yeah, being transvestigated, being told she's a dude, talking about her child because the child isn't white. So they're saying, you know, you're a hypocrite and you're our enemy, basically. But don't worry, there's more stuff as well. So they keep
it's true,
saying
you don't know.
Jewish psyop because her name before she was married or whatever her new name is was.
So they call her a psyop. That's what they call their agents, a psyop. You know what I'm saying? That's an agent for them. See, I know y'all think this is only in the black community that this happens. You know what I'm saying? No, it doesn't. And so you're more like them than you think you are. You know? So, and I'm not saying that, you know, because you should like be worried about psyops and agents. You know what I'm saying? All right, but don't think that this is like, you know, it is what it is, right? Well, they just have low IQ, so they just are too stupid, right? But you notice only one of them says something about a shyster, her being Jewish, a shyster. All right, only one of them noticed, because that's not no damn. They come from Europe. They have the same Neanderthal DNA, so they can't tell, right? One of them may be Scottish, one of them may be French. You know. Now, if they do this to this chick here, what do this conquistador chick think she got any hope ever, right? Ain't enough drops of white blood in the world, right?
Coleman, but also because she had multiple tweets when she was younger, posting in
There's one more part where
Israel. But even if you go back to December, she was posting.
So here she go supporting this,
a video about
supporting
Douglas
the
Murray,
Shystos.
who's absolutely huge Zionist, talking about Islam. So
Now this is why I don't like crime.
I don't know
they
why
don't like each other.
You wouldn't.
Because I know we think, oh, only black people argue amongst ourselves. No, they are way more. They argue way more.
Twitter post talking about getting a nose job to hide her Jewish heritage. Another one talking about how she's a
They said they had a surgery to remove the hook from her nose.
You find a clout hungry influencer that you can subvert. You get her to make a controversial TikTok.
Now I want y'all to hear this
AstroTurf
last
thing.
part, right?
For the rest of the year, you need to.
Again, I'm from like.
About you right now.
Okay, well, I guess the
Thing is propaganda and fake.
If you could address some of the craziest conspiracy theories about you right now.
Okay, well, I guess the main criticism I've had is that I'm a Jewish psyop, which, again, I'm from like the rural South. I never met a Jew. I never saw a Jew until I went to New York City. You know, saw a lot of them, and it was like cool, but like right now, that doesn't cross my radar. Yeah, I think that's the biggest one. And I had like some old Twitter accounts a long time ago, and obviously, you know, conservative, typical Christian people, you're pro-Israel. So I had like pro-Israel things on there. But to be clear,
damn,
I'm not a. And people are also allowed to change their mind, which, you know, over the time I've been like, okay, maybe I'm not so much pro-Israel, but I'm also not.
Don't disagree till you've read it. I dated an Iranian and a former Muslim.
Oh yeah, so let me. I'm glad okay, here we go.
I'm looking at a tweet right now that somebody sent me. It says, from your old Lily Coleman account, it says, don't disagree till you've read it. I dated an Iranian and a former Muslim, and he will be the first person to tell you Islam is not a religion of peace. Sent March 26, 2019 from your Lily Coleman.
Well, can you confirm that was your account, at least?
She's a sin N-word lover, and they got her on the thing. See, then they didn't look into her background, and they was like, "Oh, you is a sin N-word lover. What? And you a single mom?" Damn.
Person to tell you Islam is not a religion of peace. Sent March 26, 2019 from your Lily Coleman.
Well, can you confirm that was your account, at least? Your old account? That is you, right?
I mean, I had made a bunch of old accounts and then I didn't end up.
Go ahead, get your lie together, white girl.
I mean, come on.
He confirmed
There's a lot
earlier
together,
it's her
white
account,
bitch.
100%. He already confirmed
I'm not
that. It's up in
disagreeing.
the
It's
nest.
probably my account.
So did you date the
So
Iranian?
she had to confess to it in a room full of these fools, you know.
Did you date the Iranian or not?
Uh-oh.
I have dated 3 people, and they have all been white people.
Uh-oh.
So was it a white Iranian Muslim?
No.
Okay.
Well, something's not adding up. Something's not adding up here.
It's fair to say conservatives love.
So you see, she didn't got in trouble, right? And
server, and like I shouted out in my last video about this, check out my new. Basically, this woman was started boosting her, but to these conferences in person, but then also she met the people or the types of people her child.
Meet some people.
Did this person maybe think to keep their child safe, they shouldn't become a conservative grifter who's only famous for saying like the worst racial slur, like maybe? But let's have a look at this video.
So, like, you know, like this all blew up overnight, and I kind of got thrown into this whole scene. So I was like, okay, I better go up there and like, you know, meet some people and talk to people, see the different opinions, and just learn. I'm just learning at this point. I'm like, you know, I'm like one of the normies that's waking up.
a reformed shyster, a reformed Jew, who's now accepting her Neanderthal.
First, we went to Turning Point. I thought Turning Point was kind of lame, to be honest. It was very low energy. We weren't there for that long anyway, but I mean, it was cool. Like, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. Everybody there was really sweet. We met a lot of solid America First movement. Mad at me because I'm kind of going hard. Like, they think I'm really like hating on the the American First movement.
And the American First movement.
Get more people involved, you know. And I think you have to do that by you got to stop being so flippant. Like, I mean, if you want to be a clique and you
If you care about your child, stop doing this. Stop saying these things.
So it turns out she has a mulatto baby. Now they ain't black, so it don't got nothing to do with us. Right? It's a different kind of mulatto, but it got a drop of white blood, so it's a white baby, as far as I'm concerned.
And stop antagonizing like literally the most unhinged group of people on the internet. So I just want the ability of like the
I think it's called like AF movement or something. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I can't remember.
First Rifleman?
But
She talking
that's
about
the account
America's
that like
First
first
Rifleman?
exposed my child. So let's just address the first thing. What kind of sick motherfucker exposes somebody's child? What kind of sick, depraved, vile human being gets pictures of someone's child, someone's baby, and posts them on the internet so that all the wacko, crazy people out there can now try to come to my house, try to kidnap my child, try to hurt my child, try to send me threats that involve my
A
child.
mulatto
Now,
baby.
you say whatever you want about me.
Or whatever
I
you
don't
call
even
them.
care about that. I've came in here not caring about, I'm not trying to kiss anyone's ass. I'm not trying to be in anyone's club. I'm just saying exactly how I feel about it. And you fuckers are mad about that. Because if this is one of these, quote, America First Groyper guys, bad fucking look, dude. Bad look. Like, what kind of a lowlife are you? You don't have the balls to come up to me. You little cowards hide behind your anonymous accounts and you expose pictures of Mike Thompson.
So they're doing this to somebody else with Neanderthal DNA in them. What do Negroes think that's going to happen to them when they try to join that plantation? The world? They doing this to a Neanderthal chick, and especially this conquistador. They never accepted the conquistadors.
Toddler so that the world can attack him. You're
Hey Raw, if I know you might leave after this. I'm not gonna be too much longer, but I wanted you to see the last one, Raw. This is what it said: aliens may be living among us, Raw. You know always gonna bring the evidence for you.
That's sick. That's depraved. Is that what you want? Oh, because I called you stupid? Because I called you autistic? Because you are! And if you want your damn movement to grow, how about you start letting in other normal people?
So in this video,
You think that they're normal?
she's dropping slurs again. Like it's just like absolutely like just hate.
We reviewed several.
So
I feel
when
like an
using
edgelord
black people
saying, like, all the
backfires,
slurs
right?
Again, I don't know who this is for at this point. But she does make a comment about the America First people, so I just want to play you that.
Liberals all hate you because you're popular and not ugly, and that's the worst. For them.
What? Not ugly. What? Okay, whatever. This fool said not ugly. They call that ugly other man looking white girl not ugly too. So I don't know. Whatever European culture is, I don't know.
Liberals all hate you because you're popular and not ugly, and that's the worst for them. I think the worst thing you can be, as far as censorship and attacks, most over the target, is attractive to young people. That's the DNC's nightmare. So that's when they really pull out the big guns. But now you're also getting attacked from the media normal right is mad you went to AFPAC and associated with Groypers. But now the Groypers are saying all kinds of shit about you, like a picture with an Israeli flag, and they say you have a mixed kid. And what do you say to those accusations?
Well, I mean, okay, I don't care who it pisses off, and I've got the right to say it. When I went up there, like, there was a lot of cool dudes. They have awesome points. Like, the America First, they've got some good points. However, it was a weird vibe up there. Like, as a normal person who's not, like, part of this political sphere, I don't know about this. It was a weird vibe. They were almost allergic to women. It was kind of a weird, like, almost low T vibe I got there. So yeah, I mean, I have the right to say that. They are kind of weird. That's just a fact. Like, if you don't want weirdos, representing your whole movement, maybe let some normal guys in. But yeah, I can appreciate a solid critique of them. Those guys, they've never been in a fight. Like, those guys were very.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can appreciate a solid critique of them. Those guys, they've never been in a fight. Like, those guys were very, like posh, perfect little dudes. And they need some guys in there that's more, rough and tumble, that's a little bit more cool. Like, they need some help. I mean, I don't really give a fuck because I'm not part of the group, which I don't get why they care what I think. I mean, I'm not trying to join your club. I think it's...
Are you cancelable?
I mean, they already got me fired. So,
So
they
yes.
already doxed my address and whatever. I mean, I've got I got guns. I've like.
Yo, why is her neck so red though? Like, why is her thing so red? This is throwing me off. Like, her face is like hella white and her neck is red as hell. Like, is she cancelable? The answer is yes, bitch. Just say yes. Well, yeah, they got me fired, and then they got me kicked out the group, and then they got me shamed. So yeah, I guess so.
Care what I think. I mean, I'm not trying to join your club. I think it's.
Are you cancelable?
I mean, they already got me fired, so they've already doxed my address and whatever. I mean, I got guns. I've know how to shoot. I'm actually a pretty good shot, believe it or not. I've got cops and stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. And it is what it is. Like, cancel me. I don't care.
I mean, the thing is,
so she's definitely canceled. All right. Now, I'm going to play something else. Right? I'm going to play something else. All right, that y'all probably been seeing all day. But I'm going to show it anyway because I showed the other side, so I'll show this side, Just because, I mean, it's two sides to the same coin, right? It doesn't make any sense how we getting sucked up into this. This is why I didn't even want to talk about it last time, and I started talking about the John Brown stuff, because we have the John Brown complex. We need a hero, you know what I'm saying? A white savior. We went from revolution to civil rights, So the whole key is to get it in reverse. I'm gonna play some of this,
In order for it to be real, it's got to hit the streets. And the only way that will happen in a meaningful way is if the people are aware of what is available to them and then take advantage of that. So I wanted to come and speak to 100 Black Men, to this organization, because I know who everyone here is. This is a room full of leaders of every age who can help get the word out about what we have made available, because it's so important people take advantage of what's available.
What's available?
So I'm doing this tour to highlight
for
the
100 Black
importance
men.
of speaking truth about the obstacles that have existed for access to capital, for home ownership, for Black folks, and what we are doing to actually deal with those obstacles in a way that we create opportunity. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. So, for example, what we're doing around reduction of debt forgiveness, what we are doing to address the racial wealth gap as it relates to a number of issues, including access to capital for our small businesses and entrepreneurs, what it means in terms of
so let's go
need
to
more than just what is necessary to get by. We want to.
Well, let's talk about this capital for entrepreneurs and small businesses, because that's been a really important part of your mandate here as vice president. But little do a lot of people know, you were doing this long before you even got to the White House. You have been a huge proponent about entrepreneurship dollars and stuff that's available now, and a lot of people are not aware. And there's a lot of, like you say, really brilliant people in this audience here who are entrepreneurs. The minds in this room is really startling, man. There's some really sharp people here, right? And if they
Put them on
only
blast.
knew
Who on
what
there?
was available for them, Tell us more about this work for small business and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, please.
So like you said,
For
when
black
I
people.
was in the United States Senate, I actually was responsible with a group of other senators for getting $12 billion more into our community banks.
What?
So the importance of community banks is they are, as they are called, they're in the community.
Who? JP Morgan? With Chase Bank? Wachovia or whatever? I don't know if they still got Wachovia. The hell, community bank? Which one? Okay. Which bank are you saying? That's all you have to be like. Yeah. So could you give us a list of the community banks?
Led by members of the community. They are people who understand the capacity of the community, the needs of the community, the culture of the community. They are folks who, unlike the big banks, will see the dream that an individual has for what is possible. And instead of rejecting that dream because maybe it's something they've not heard before, they will listen to it and then give folks advice, including financial literacy advice, helping people know how to run a payroll, how to deal with inventory in a way that they can start a business and sustain that business and grow that business. So the money that we are putting in community banks is intentional in that it is there that we believe there is going to be the greatest opportunity for folks in the community to actually.
So we're gonna give these unnamed community banks money and just say, "Oh, well, that's what we're doing for you." Like, that's what you're doing for like giving community banks. Can you give us the list of these? Are they black banks? You know what I'm saying? Because there's only like a few of them. Could you give us the list?
Do the work that is about entrepreneurship. Since I've been vice president, I also created what's called the Economic Opportunity Council, and I got the big banks and big tech companies to invest private equity into community banks. And we're on track to getting $3 billion more into community banks because of that partnership.
So pretty much they're gonna give $3 billion to some other white dudes for black people, right?
And there's a specific piece of that that's very important. You know that VCs, venture capitalists, only 2% of their investments go to black businesses, right? We also know that.
Yo, what's up, Luana? Yeah, we're gonna finish the lessons, but I had to finish the thing I'm doing the lessons from first, you know what I'm saying? And I had to focus so I can get it done, you know. But yeah, we're gonna get back on it. But yeah, we definitely been talking about history lately though. But you know, we're gonna talk about this today.
Black folks are 1/3, I think the number is 3 times less likely to apply for business loans. And a big part of that is that nobody likes to be disappointed, right? And the feeling, rightly, after so many things can disappoint, that I don't want to go for it and then be rejected. So again, putting the money into community banks is about putting it into a place where people can walk in with a sense of dignity that is respected to actually be able to have access to capital. So we're doing that. The other piece that we have done is from the day that we came in office as an administration, President Biden and I made a commitment that we would increase federal government contracts by 50% to minority-owned businesses. And understand what that means.
And by the way, Luana, for your Black History lesson for today, which I did earlier, this is your Black History lesson.
Said enough is enough. And although it might lack of evidence, people were just fed up, said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns and started standing off sentries in the neighborhood. And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
All right, that was the Black History lesson for today. Yeah.
A place where people can walk in with a sense of dignity that is respected to actually be able to have access to capital. So we're doing that. The other piece that we have done is from the day that we came in office as an administration, President Biden and I made a commitment that we would increase federal government contracts by 50% to minority-owned businesses. And understand what that means.
Yeah, it means that Hispanics will get more money, I guess, and women and gay people and Iranians and, you know, the whole list of everybody is a minority now. They might as well call themselves a minority because they can't even have babies, but, you know, that's another story.
Once you get a federal contract, it's usually for 5 years, and you can renew it for 10, 20, 30 years. So, Steve, unless somebody messes that thing up, it's yours
Unless you
for a
Negroes mess
very
that up.
long time, which is going to be a source of
You can go to some white or unknown community banks, which is likely white owned, and ask for a loan that you've been historically denied. Right? That's something that you can do.
incredible wealth growing opportunity for yourself, for your family, and for your community. So these are some of the things we've done around access to capital to address the disparities that have for too long existed. And I put this all in the context of another reason I'm doing this tour. Since we came in office, we passed the bipartisan infrastructure law. We are putting billions of dollars on the streets of America to upgrade sidewalks, roads, bridges, freeways. Do you know that over 90%?
Well, you do know that a lot of people, a lot of black people don't have clean drinking water. Right? You remember that? Right? I know here they be working on the damn streets for like years at a time. Like, I don't understand why they don't like go fix this spot. All right, get it done. Go to the next spot. They have like 20, 30, 40 spots and they work on it for years. I understand why they do it, so they can exploit the government contracts and stuff like that, you know? And then they do all kinds of crazy stuff where they be like, oh yeah, well, I had to get a hammer and that hammer costs $500 to rent for the day. And that goes within the contract, so you get more money, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just how these type of things work. And I guess they even passed the law where you got to hire black people if you get a contract. But that's a whole nother history lesson. Right?
Of construction companies employ 20 or fewer people. Those are small businesses. Think about, we are putting...
Right. And most people that get jobs are for resurfacing roads and stuff like that are white and Mexican. There are almost no black people on the crew, except for like the one black dude every now and then that be holding the sign, maybe if he be there. And most times it'd be like a Hispanic girl, you know. I don't know. I mean, Buwana, a lot of people been arguing about this and getting caught up in this political stuff, which is why I was talking about something else last time, you know.
Over $1 trillion by my calculation on the streets of America over the next 10 years to invest in a clean energy economy. Adaptation.
Let's hear what this black woman has to say.
Those are small businesses.
By the way, shouts out to Matron
Think about,
in the
we
building.
are putting over $1 trillion by my calculation on the streets of America over the next 10 years to invest in a clean energy economy. Adaptation, resilience to extreme climate.
This is what she came here to talk to 100 black men about? I'm lost here.
Occurrences.
But I'm sorry to play this again, but he said it better than I could.
And to call for prosecuting his political opponents, including President Biden.
Well, let me also explain this one. Now, what he did say is that we have always had this kind of a gentleman's agreement that you do not go after the political leaders of the opposition party.
They always agree that we don't go after each other, right? This is why they have this, y'all call it benign neglect policy, but it doesn't matter which side it is, does it? Right? Because until you funding your own politician, it don't matter. They only going to be beholden but to who pays them, right?
Federal contracts. What we are doing with the CHIPS and Science Act.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to hire black people for government contracts. You don't have to give them the government contracts. You just have to have at least one minority. You don't have to hire a black person. You have to hire a minority. right? So you don't have to be a black person, but it does have to be a minority. So
we are investing in semiconductor manufacturing here in the United States because we know, and we learned, if we didn't know before during the pandemic, this supply chain thing can really mess you up. And we need domestic production and manufacturing of some of these essential needs. So in the last 3 years, our accomplishments around growing the economy of America in a broad-based economic policy.
what is she talking about here? She's basically saying we're going to give some white banks some money for you.
Putting trillions of federal dollars into the economy, which will require for it to be meaningful, folks to take up those contracts to do the work that is about building up our nation.
I'd rather be the one putting the trillions of dollars wherever I decide to put it, instead of you giving it to them to decide where it goes, and then trying to say it's for you.
So that's part of why I'm here, is to
it
ask
gotta be a
everyone
minority.
here, help me get out the word of what we are doing, and that the Small Business Administration, as an example, and we have representatives here, we have the Deputy Secretary of Commerce here.
You just can't discriminate based on age, sex, religion, or race. But you can discriminate for other reasons other than that. You know what I'm saying? You can find a reason. But as long as you got a woman, a gay person, or something like that, then you're good, Now, it look funny if you ain't got no black people on there. So if we want to make money, we better hire some Negroes. Or if we got warehouse positions, we can hire some Negroes. We need you to run, jump, and shoot, pass and all of that stuff, and catch the ball. So we got those positions available for you. But government contractor jobs, contractors, government contracts itself, I don't know about that.
Secretary of Treasury here, help get the word out about what is available, because too often, like I said,
damn well Bakari could not go in that room. They got to spend everybody that go in that room.
But we got to let people know that it's there so that they will apply and take advantage of what.
None of us will be allowed around the building without being patted down by some kind of security.
We are doing, including we have finally gotten rid of the prohibition
that's what they're saying,
on people with a criminal record.
Nation said they're all saying that they're not willing to do something exclusively for black people. Right? We need to work with Mexicans, and we already see what the Mexican had to say.
Black victimization is about to be shoved
whatever
down
the hell
our
she is,
throats
same difference, right?
for the most wretched holiday in America. BLM raised millions, but what did they do for Black lives? It is outrageous. People should be celebrated. These ungrateful people should be celebrated because they were born in the greatest nation to ever exist.
All right, I'm sorry. Back to this,
Being able to available, because too often, like I said, Black folks are 3 times less likely to apply for these things.
So we're going to give them the money even though they're less likely to apply, and we know that there's discrimination. So let's give the money to these people, discriminators, or if you call them people, to the community banks discriminating against these very people. Let's give them the money then. All right, that sounds like a great idea.
But we got to let people know that it's there so that they will apply and take advantage of what we are doing, including we have finally gotten rid of the prohibition on people with a criminal record being able to apply for SBA loans. We just got rid of that.
Oh, so now that's good. So now Donald Trump can apply for an SBA loan. So it doesn't apply to me though, right? And so now criminals can apply for it. So Donald Trump is good.
Including we have.
Well, I guess he said that, but I mean that's the first thing that makes you think
on people with a criminal record being able to apply for SBA loans. We just got rid of that. So now, for those who are formerly incarcerated or who have a conviction for a crime, that will no longer prohibit people from being eligible for small business loans. Help me get the word out. That's why I'm here.
100 black men.
Well, that's good, because
That's a good question, Bwana. See if Steve Harvey asks this question next. That should be the next question. If that's the case, then why he married a white man? Let's see if he asks this question next.
Might as well be able to get a small business loan because you can be president too with a criminal record. So that's a nice exchange.
Oh, hold on. You can't say that because you know we giving that specifically for black people, right? Even though this fool got the criminal record, not me. I ain't got no criminal record, you know.
Ain't that about her?
Yeah, she is talking to Steve Harvey. How serious can she be? He must have told her that Camilla that he can't speak to black male voters. And this is the thing. Yeah, Steve Harvey is there. And this is the thing. I'm glad you brought this up because I almost forgot to say it. Because it's always the athlete, the entertainer, the rapper, right, the musician that is speaking on your behalf on political issues every single time, right? And why is it? Because I'm glad, because we write on that thing, and I'm glad that you brought it up. You know what I'm saying? It's always the people who have the money then now, who want these contracts, who want these deals, because maybe he got a government contract that we don't know about. Right, so they do have a black person, or we got black people with government contracts. Contractors for him to come up here and do this, you know. But
yeah,
you know, look, I've been reading this paper because I gotta stay to the. I got a headache trying to stay on course. So just let me go off this paper for a minute.
Hold on, before I'm gonna give y'all a preview of what he's about to say right now. Well, if it work, you know, yeah, I don't know, Raw, you know, and that's the point, you know. It's always the Negro question. Damn. All right, here we go. Sorry, I had to do it, you know.
You know, you have you asking your questions like, Damon, now that you made this $13 million, and we're not counting. Now that you made all this money, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out at you. You respond any way you want. Is there racism in America? You be sitting there thinking about that paycheck, talking about, no, sir. If in there is, I ain't seen none.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it real and go off the script.
Before y'all start calling my radio show and DMing me.
Let me keep it real here. a scripted go off the script.
Talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions. That ain't what this is. I'm throwing a lob. This is an alley-oop for a dunk. Because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for black people. Ain't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House.
So why would you vote for anybody like that then? What the world? Then why vote then? What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense to be like. Maybe I don't understand what I'm saying. Or maybe he has a government contract that he's trying to keep intact. I don't know.
For black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House.
Listen, ain't nobody in that audience is going to dare make a sound, right? They are all vetted. Probably Bobby Porter or whatever his name is sitting in the front row in a dress, bro. And that's not to be like making it that kind of thing, but I'm just saying. But he knew what was about to happen.
You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is. So now this next question is another lob about what you're doing for black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House. You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is. So now this next question is another lob for her to dunk. Because they done a lot, man. But we see, I'm on this radio show. I'm hearing all these people talking about, I'm not voting if they not doing nothing for us. Listen to me. If you do not vote, the analytics will show they know how many women vote, how
So what?
age you are when you vote.
Good. Maybe they'll know, like, oh, well, this particular group was mean at this time, and maybe they know you ain't playing this time. You know what I'm saying? I hope they do know. This dude here in particular did not vote. You know what I'm saying? Good.
If we don't vote, how we gonna ask for something next time? If you ain't got no voting power, you talking about
This fool's talking about some damn next time. Now listen, ever since I've been born, I've been hearing some damn next time. Next time. You know, when Obama came, it is true. Like, next time, like, we just got to get them in. And then they always, because that's what always tripped me out when I was, like, too young to even understand. But I'm like, every time they be like, yo, why didn't they do nothing for the people? Like, one side would be like, well, because, like, the Democrats always be like, oh, well, because it was Republicans in the thing. And then the Republicans would be like, well, the Democrats in the thing. I'm like, yo, y'all always switch sides. And then when they have the whole thing, they still don't do anything. And I'm like, yo, all of these old, I'm sorry, you know, a lot of some people who still have this mentality, I don't get it. Just don't get it. Yeah, now it chastises black people for wanting to have a black agenda. We are the only people told not to vote for our best interest. All right. We just, next time for you, next time, right? We just got to get this white bitch in office, Hillary Clinton. Next time for you Negroes, next time in 20, vote or die. You know what I'm saying? When y'all still love Diddy, he said vote or die. Now he messed up in the game. You know what I'm saying? And he was sitting there telling you vote or die. Maybe he should have didn't vote and then never mind.
Show they know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't vote, how we gonna?
We just watched the Trump.
Time?
We just watched the damn Trump rally at a black church, a white Trump rally at a black church. You know, and then the Negro sit there and be like, "Oh, thank you, Trump." Let's not act like it's any different over there.
President Joe Biden here. President Obama.
Let's not act like it's different on this side.
Respect just for showing up.
President Trump, I'm so humbled that you would be here.
Thank
President
you,
Obama never came to the hood, so to speak, right? President Joe Biden, he went to the big NAACP dinner, but he never came to the hood. So thank you.
By the way, it was an all-white audience, not the hood. So let's not act like it's not the same thing here. So that's the only reason why I brought this up, right?
If you ain't got no voting power, you talking about reparations. Ain't nobody finna give you no reparations and you don't vote. Why you think they finna give us some money? No how, man. I hope.
Now he didn't let this despair actually come out for a second, right? So he was like, I don't like listen to what he said. I don't know why you think they're not gonna give it. I don't know why you think they're gonna give you reparations if you don't vote. They ain't gonna give it to you no how. So what in the hell is the point of voting for? I don't give a damn about Palestine. You can't get me with that. The sad part is, right? A lot of black people don't give a damn about black issues, but you say, well, Joe Biden is pro-Israel, then he would go on the Palestinians. Well, now we're going to draw the line. That's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? Was they're not even addressing that side of the game, you know, because that's a whole nother group of black people who also are, you know.
Why you think they finna give us some money? No how, man. I hope they do. They owe us. I'll go down there. I'm sorry.
That's hilarious. She over there cracking up and down laughing. And somebody did point it out. It is true. They did take the camera off of her, so we can't see her nodding in agreement with this. And next time, Negro. Next time. Hold on, Bwan. I got you, my brother. I know how some of us
On
feel
June-
about reparations. I got y'all covered. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all, because I know y'all ain't gonna come up here and say, I'm gonna let this brother say it for y'all.
Black people sold black people, white people just paid for it. My great-great-grandmother was sold by her father to another black man, who then sold her to who became her husband and had kids. Not a white person in sight. Well, so while people are being stuck on, especially when I hear this dumbass thing as reparations for slavery, I'm like, dude, slavery was everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
There was slavery in the Arab world, in the Persian world, in the Greek world, in Europe. White, blonde, blue-eyed Polish people were slaves to Germans. So white, blonde, blue-eyed Germans. So what are you talking about? Like slavery is something that only black. You guys play too much respect to racism.
Yeah.
If we were all white or we were all black, we're still going to discriminate.
You know what we
against each other.
discriminate against? Eye color.
Thank you very much.
No, because he's referring to how Europeans would kill each other because some of them will have freckles and red hair. You know, Europeans would kill each other because they got red hair. You know what I'm saying? He's referring to that. And you notice the first thing, if we were all white, if we were all black, we'd find something to, he's thinking of European culture, you know?
Yeah.
If we were all white or we were all black, we're still going to discriminate.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you would say, I'm saying when y'all be talking against like, reparations for any black people, because listen, if they say no matter what it is, right? What he's talking against reparations, y'all do make these arguments when y'all, that's how I do sound when y'all be like, oh, you ain't getting no damn reparations, no way. Y'all sound like Steve Harvey or like this dude here, one or the other.
Yeah.
If we were all white or we were all black, we're still going to discriminate.
You know what we
against each other.
discriminate against? Eye color.
Thank you very
It's
much.
human nature.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
We'll find something. Oh, your ear is too big. I tell people,
Now I'm sure you made this argument before. No, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. Let me stop. I'm done with all of that. I'm not going to do that.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
We'll find something. Oh, your ear is too big. I tell people, as long as you're a competition, you're a threat. And as long as you're a threat, somebody will try to do something to remove you. It doesn't matter if you're white or black. And on the opposite side, as long as you can add value, doesn't matter if you're black or if you're white, you will be appreciated or recognized.
Black people sold black people.
Okay. That's what they sound. That is your reasons, bro. Like you made, like, see, when he puts it that way, you think you put it more elegantly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this is. Some of the stuff that's why I was like, I'm gonna let him say this thing about reparations, so y'all don't have to. So y'all don't have to, because y'all think that y'all don't agree with Steve Harvey and agree with him, but that is the points that y'all make. Y'all just think y'all put it a little more elegantly, but to me, I still hear the same thing. Just me, you know. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it is true. You know what I'm saying?
Do not vote. The analytics will show. They know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't,
I'll drop the link. Let's see here. Yeah, oh yeah, and just for a little bit too, because I do have to get off of here. I can't be on here too long. So I'm gonna put that in there. And I gotta show I don't know if Raw is still in the building, but I'm gonna show the last thing now, you know. So if you come on here, wait 1 second, you know. I wanna show y'all something else. Now I'm only showing this, you know, because I show it every time that the subject comes up. Just because. Now check this out, yo. They said I think they finally admitting to what they're saying here. Damn, now my computer acting slow.
Start clean with the power of.
It's like an old science fiction movie, but a study out of Harvard finds that aliens might be living among us. Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program speculates UFOs may be spaceships visiting alien friends planted right here on Earth, that is. Those aliens then are disguised as humans trying to fit in. Study examines 4 different alien theories, okay, including technologically advanced ancient human civilization, plus ETs from the future. The study says aliens could either live among us, underground, or inside the moon.
I don't know about inside the moon or nothing, but
Right now, we're going to talk about extraterrestrial life forms.
Oh, no, there you
Researchers at
go,
Harvard speculate that an unidentified technologically advanced population could be secretly.
there you go, Ra. Yo, what's going on, Buwana?
Forecast.
Yeah, what up?
Can you hear me? What's
Yeah, I
going
hear
on,
you.
bro? Let's talk about reparations. Now, forecast, you my little bro. So tell me where I going wrong with this. Let me know if I being a Uncle Tom and I sound like a coon, please stop me and say, Moana, you sound like a friggin' coon. This is the problem I have with y'all coons over there and the middlemans. Okay, so when I hear people discuss reparations, right, they only have a discussion based off of work and labor. When they say that the black slaves, whether in the diaspora, but mainly the black slaves in the United States, they would have worked for a certain amount of time, and that labor they would have provided to the United States, they never got compensated for that labor. Did you hear an argument like that before? You heard an argument, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem with that argument, what I trying to say why I don't believe in it is because the labor is not the only thing that you lost as far as slavery. Why I say that? When a woman is raped, not only a woman, when a man is raped, because men got taken advantage of during slavery as well, right? That harm was done to me. If I say I want reparations for that, how do I go about getting reparations for that? Because you can't give me money to say, well, okay, I raped you for 400 years. Here's $100 million for the rape that I perform on you for 400 years. So how do I get a remedy for that?
Well, Buwana, and not y'all over there, what you are saying specifically, Buwana, not over at Bitter Medicine.
No sweat. I'll take the heat.
Yeah, no. When you saying that, right? First of all, because you even leaving out, right, the fact that like they just had the thing for the woman about Rosewood. We know is a specific thing. You know what I'm saying? And you saying, well, okay, well, are you trying to say like, people are asking for a specific case reparations for a specific case of like rape or something?
No. When I hear people say they want reparations, right? They say they want money. Money is for the fact that they work for free for 400 years, so they want compensation. They want money for that labor.
But
right.
Not only. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is the slave lost more than compensation based off of free labor that they would have given to the United States government. And I'm asking the question, what else did they lose? Because giving me money won't repair the fact that you basically take me away from my culture. You basically stop me from understanding what my customs was, my language was. You murder my children up and down the Atlantic Ocean. You break up families where families was together in Africa. I don't even have a last name. I have a European last name. That was taken away from me. If you say that you want to repair me, You have to repair, you have to replace all them things you would have taken away from me. And what I'm telling you is the United States government does not have the ability to do that. How could they repair me and give me back my African mind and all the things that was taken away from me when you pulled me out of the continent of Africa and brought me to the United States? It's bigger than just labor alone and money. Money does not completely solve the problem, because you only provide me with one part of the problem. But there are many other effects based off of you taking me out of Africa and putting me into a weird nation called the United States of America. That's the problem I have with reparations.
Well, first of all, Bwana, you should be like saying like because I think that you should be saying that to like Britain, like you took me out of my land and put me into this place and I want reparations. But it's not even only that, you know what I'm saying? It's like so many things that you can name. Now, I disagree when people say only money, because number one, like we should not be paying taxes at all to it. They shouldn't be taking no tax money from us in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But even when people talk about that, because you go from like when it first started, like when people always be like, that thing, because I could play that. I did play that in the history. No, I don't think I got to that part yet, but I played this before when they was asking the brothers like after the Civil War thing, you know, and they was trying to do reparations when they gave the land to people in South Carolina. Then they had the land for a year. Then they passed laws to specifically take away that land, right? And then even after that, then with the Reconstruction, when they took Reconstruction away, and then even after that, when they built their own towns and they came in and tried to burn it down and destroy it, like where you still see the elderly woman who's still alive today talking about Black Wall Street and the funds that she left, or the GI Bill, or these housing things where they wouldn't allow people to get it, or how the cities used to pass laws like where they would burn it down, and then they would pass zoning laws where you can't build in certain things, so you could not rebuild the community. Or the issues with the water thing, that's another part of it, where you they try to act like it's a part of it, but they don't do anything to fix the water. All of these kind of issues, on top of what you even saying of them taking you from your homeland in the first, like they should be paying. And I'm another person that be like, okay, if you don't want to pay this, then if you saying that the Civil War and our bloodshed was it, then we could get it. But most people ain't gonna be on that mindset. So yeah, like out of all of the economic opportunities you were screwed from, how the banks just got, like Wells Fargo just got in trouble for how they discriminated against the loans when it comes to businesses. Like these is all the things that people were saying that, like, or how like you heard of Sarah Proctor, she's just like the person who was rich, a young girl who was rich from the oil fields, and how they took all of these people land from the oil. And you still see people today where these businesses are trying to take their land, but we don't have the damn resources to fend for that. Or with the farming thing, how they're talking about reparations, how they gave all these money to the USDA, but now they're giving reparations or money back to all of these minority groups, and Black people is like the second lowest in the group, and the only group that's getting countersued for getting money because they're saying it's discrimination. Or I can keep going on and on if you want me to keep going.
No. What you describing to me is everything that come after the first harm was done. Okay, and what I mean by that is, if I hit you, right, and after that, I come back tomorrow and I stomp you in your leg, and then the next day I kick you in your back, right? For me to repair you, I have to start from the first harm that was done, and the first harm that was done is you removing me from my rightful place on the continent of Africa and bringing me to a continent that I did not wish to come. That's the first harm you do against me. Okay? So all the other things that you mentioned in the meet come afterwards. So if you are to repair me, you have to repair me from the where the first harm was done.
But
I am not a
because now like you trying to be like on some kind of technical thing, right? So if
it's not technical forecast.
No,
that's
no,
technical.
listen. Okay, but listen to what I'm saying, right? So would you say like did that happen first, or did America come after that? So they already did this, but there was no America, correct?
No, but you the whole historian.
Correct.
No, there was an
No?
America. No, the first America here. If we started from, so to claim even with me, the claim is with the Indians because this is their land. If we started from there.
Well, with the Indians, what you fail to realize is time after time again, they actually signed treaties to stab black people in the back, and they accepted a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like even land and all. Like now, I'm not agreeing with the stuff, the deals they took, but they took it now, didn't they? Like from the very first time they came over here in the 1500s, right? The damn Indian was the one who stabbed the, like you look up the Wolof thing in the 1500s or something, when black people taught them how to fight back, and then they took a deal to keep black people enslaved for the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm trying to tell you is like how America was even formed, how they got the money for their military and their thing was off the slavery itself. So that would come after the fact of what you're saying, you know, even if you want to make it like a thing like that. Like, so, yeah, and I agree that all black people should take back what's theirs from all of them. You know what I'm saying? I think that like with the British bitch dying with the jewels is a disgrace and that should be taken off her neck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it should be limited to here. It's all of them. But even if you try to argue that, right? America was built off of like the thing that made, like, if you look up what made America's wealth, like slavery was like I don't know, like more than, it was more than everything, every other thing combined. I forget the number, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
yes. So what you are saying is the wealth of America that America received, that the wealth that America eventually was able to accrue was built off of the backs of slaves, black Africans from Africa, right? I am not taking that away. You know? I'm saying that that's absolutely right. But if you say that, but if them black slaves or the descendants of those black slaves say they want reparations, right? Where would you start the clock? Where would you start the clock where you say I need to be compensated for all of the harms that was done, including using my labor for free? Where would you start that clock?
Well, that's the thing. It ain't no like it's all done like now. Like what I'm saying now, the first thing I'm like, they should not be taking our tax money first and foremost. That's where I start at. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that is done. They should just not be taking my tax money. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like look, like I know that there are black people that want to go back to Africa, black people that don't. I know people in my family that will never go back type stuff, you know. So that's not going to be a thing when you're saying like necessary. But I do think that like even the black people that do, like like even the lands there should be, but even the black people that do go back should have the resources when they go back to put into that land. Now, I also think that Nigeria should be going after Britain. I also think all of these, that's what I'm saying. I think all of these countries, and we should be doing it, like holding each other down and supporting each other when we do it. I don't think that like one group should get it or whatever, you know. I think that we all should get it. But what I'm trying to say is when y'all be talking about this specific claim, like when people is talking about reparations in America, like America itself was built off of the slave labor here in America. Like they had to starve, they had nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things here on America. Then it goes all the way to here to today when Wachovia in 2016 got sued for like the same discrimination that they always have, like when they do with the redlining and all of that stuff. That's the things that people was talking about when they had their homes burnt down that was already in America, or the thing in Wilmington, North Carolina that was in America, or Black Wall Street, or Rosewood, or any of these things. People are saying all of these things. And then on top of that, like what they was talking about, even because really it goes back to that, the 40 acres and the mule thing. And even if you look that up, it's like it's the Ebenezer Creek massacre where the North helped the South slaughter a bunch of black people on top of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like That's what people was talking about.
I understand, and I understand, but see, we going back to, first of all, we going back to labor within America, and you going back to the loss of property, and that is important to discuss. That's a dialogue for the people who, when they think of reparations, they're not thinking about taking that, getting their monies and leaving the United States and separating from America. You're talking in respects to the people who have no thought of even leaving America, but actually, have been justly compensated for what they would have lost historically, but still remaining within the United States, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm not only talking about money, and I think that's where there's the disconnect, because I'm not dismissing the money claim. I'm just saying that there are other things that was lost because of slavery, and if I say that I need reparations, reparations mean to repair me, there are other things that come into play than just money, because if you have Black people right now, and you know as good as I do, they hate the fact that they Black. They hate the fact that they have big noses. They hate the fact that even knowledge itself, because we talk about knowledge itself from time to time. And I think that these things were taken away. How do you repair that? How does the government go about repairing that? Because that is a part of what was taken away from me when he was exploiting my labor. He was calling me ugly. He was telling me, raping me. He was saying that when I find you in Africa, I find you with a bone in your nose. Thank God that we took you away from the continent of Africa and brought you to America to civilize you. Now we know that some people actually believe these things in 2024, because this had to do with you destroying the knowledge that I had about myself and my history and my culture and things about myself. How does the government go about repairing that? They cannot. They don't know how to. Imagine a white American man trying to teach me about Black African culture, and the fact that I am linked to a part of history that you disconnect me from. They don't have the ability to do it forecast. I think it's bigger than my position is bigger than just money. It doesn't stop at money. Money, yes, is important. The loss of property is very important, but it don't just stop there, because there are bigger things at play that the United States government does not have the ability to solve. That's what I'm saying.
So Bwana, and I'll ask you after I say this, because even when you say that, that's even more reason why they should be like we should have the resources to have to put towards a school system for ourselves that we have in our own community, because that is so much of even what you just said, my brother. But even with what you're saying, now, y'all, people have to understand, you can't repair that. How are we going to relearn the language that we knew or what we was doing? All of these things is something that cannot be repaired. You know what I'm saying? That's even more reason why they have to pay. They took something that we don't even know what language. I would say for myself, I don't know which language I was speaking, which tribe I was in, which area. I would say area, because it wouldn't the nations that we know today. We don't know none of that. That's even more reason why they have to pay, And even saying that, my brother, okay, so you say, well, you can never, so say they don't do that and no reparations and all that. How do you repair that anyway?
I have to do it myself. I have to do it myself.
So you want to do it myself, but still have the resources that was taken, because we know resources is continually to this very day being taken. You know what I'm saying? So of course you got no. So why, when you want the damn resources on top of that,
no forecast. I am not dismissing your argument. I think that the monies that you talk about and address, I think that that's very important. But the conclusion I come to about the other things that we talk about just now, you say, well, how can the government do it? They can't. They don't have the ability to. So I can't look for them to repair.
So what exactly does what we just have to do with it then?
No, because what you did just now. No, because that's what reparations mean, to repair. Reparations mean to repair me to a position I was in.
So you
before you did anything against me. Yes, they don't have the ability to do it.
They have to do anything, or they shouldn't have to
No,
pay
no,
money
no.
or anything.
No. But what I do say is, when you talk about labor, that's a fact, because you could quantify that. You could quantify that. You could come up with a number, and we'll be talking about. But when I talking about rape, when I talking about the loss of the fact that I don't even have my own last name, the fact that you disconnect me from my family, that is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. You can't quantify that. You can't. So the government don't have the ability to do that. But when you talk about labor, of course, when you talk about loss of property, these things can be quantified. This is the reason why when we have these discussions, I kind of like halfway about it, because I understand your argument. But now that I tell you my argument, you understand my argument.
No, I don't.
You don't?
Like you're saying, okay, they cannot do this thing, right? Whether they give you reparations or not, they cannot do this. So therefore, they should not give you reparations. Like what the?
No.
Like,
I'm saying no. What I'm saying is, you cannot put a money figure on the fact that you raped me, remove me, kidnap me, remove me from my land, take me from my name, my everything, all those intangible things. You cannot put a monetary value on that. You cannot.
But okay,
so what I'm saying is, if I go to the U.S. government, the government give me $100 million based off of the loss of labor, the fact that I had to work for you. All the accountants could go into their accounting room and they could calculate, okay, what is the price of a worker working in the field in Glen Island, Mississippi, for a certain amount of time, and we could calculate it up to 2024. That's a tangible calculation that you could make. But when you put on that, what is the calculation of the fact that these people get raped, mistreated, killed, murdered, hanged, removed, kidnapped, all these other things? You cannot put a money figure on that. So I can't go to the government to ask them to repair me, because they don't have the ability to do that. You understand?
But Bwana, right? This is okay, right? You're saying they've done all of these things. You're right. They cannot repair certain things, right? But do you know what that they can pay for that? But do you know what they can pay for that, first of all?
Yes. What can they pay for that? What?
Okay, paid in blood only.
Paid in blood.
Now, are you willing to do that?
So now what you telling me?
No, never mind. No, don't answer that. Never mind. I shouldn't have asked you that on here, so I apologize.
Well, yeah, no, that's all right. But okay, because we can get into a whole lot of kind of conversation.
Yeah. I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go there with you, yeah. But you know what I'm saying, though, Bwana.
Yes,
you know?
yes. But I do know what you're saying, and I think that when you all the things you mentioned to me, when you talk about the labor, and then you mention all the different things, and a loss of property, the loss of work, and Jim Crow, and all these things. These are tangible things that you could put a number value to, but there are some intangible things that you can't put a number value to, and that's my problem with the whole argument of reparation. It stops at labor and loss of property, but there are other things that we lose.
Okay, so how would you get them to repay that then?
I say that I can't get them to repay that. I say I have to get that on my own. I have to get it on my own.
So that might be why it stops there then, right?
For me. That's
so then you would agree with the economic part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Why it only stops there then?
No,
absolutely. That cannot be given back.
No, absolutely. When the brothers talk about money, when the brothers talk about property, I understand that very clear, and I think that all of us in the Western Hemisphere should be able to get our monies back for that labor. But I don't want the U.S. government to think that debt is paid after giving me money. You still owe me after you give me money. That's what you want to say. You still owe me, because there's other things that I would have lost that you can't give me money back for.
Listen. No, listen, I understand what you're saying, because there are certain people that push that whole thing where they try to limit it to just this particular thing, right? Because they don't even talk about not paying tax, because they should not be paying taxes. That is a crime. I feel like we paying tribute to these fools, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is something that should be like, now, like I said, they said if the Civil War was their reparations, then they got a whole lot of more paying to do, you know what I'm saying? Now, but most people, it's not going to be on that tip, you know what I'm saying? And we know that, like, because it's one thing to say all of these things, but people is hungry out here. Like, rent.
No,
is so
I
much
get
money. People is hungry.
I get it.
You know,
Yes.
and and that's and people need these things because, like, we have been like out of everything. Like, we know the economic value of everything. We know that how America got to be the nation that it is, you know what I'm saying? What was its highest economic part? That's why people talk about the economic part. They can never restore what they have done to us, you know what I'm saying? Because we are so divided now. We talk about we Americans and all. They could never restore that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing that they could do about that. But that's, I don't know why people would talk about. That's why I talk about the things I talk about. Go ahead, though.
But let me ask you a question. If the U.S. government decides to give 45 million Black people in America their reparations, their monetary reparations, right? Can I ask, what is the plan after that? Is that 45 million Black people gonna stick with America and stick with that empire? Because they ain't stopped doing what they did to you all. They continuing to do. The other people, other Black people too.
Now let me say this because and I'm gonna say some because Bakari be doing this too, so I'm gonna throw him in there. Not what you particularly did now, but Bakari be like, now y'all be like no, I ain't no victim in all of this. This is what Bakari say, right? And I'm like, yo, now if you was to go to work, I ain't gonna be like, yo, what you gonna do with your paycheck? Are you gonna donate it to all of us or whatever? Now, I personally think that there is a lot of Black people that is going to use it for what it's worth. Like, there are a lot of Black people today that have schools, that have organizations. They just don't have the resources. And I think that so some people gonna trick it up, so yeah, but that's their business. So what? That's just like, is you gonna trick up your paycheck? Is that my business? But like who cares? Like are you like, my thing is like, yo, what is the Jew like? Did they be like, yo, I'm not even gonna do that? But I know that there are Black people who's with schools that need money. I know that money would have helped me when I was trying to do the projects I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what everybody does, but I have more faith in Black people than a lot of people do.
No, I just curious. I don't, because I'm curious about whether the goal is to create a Black United States of America or continue with the program. I mean, well, trying to integrate themselves into American culture and continuing on the program, or trying to create your own United States of America within America itself. But I'm just curious about that.
But Bwana, that's like saying like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say that, but
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, because it's not about you in particular.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that, but and that's what I'm saying though, bro. Like, we always be like, yo, look for the like, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. It doesn't matter what we do. First and foremost, this is what it is owed. If you be like, I go to work and I don't get paid, is you gonna be like, well, what are you gonna do with your check, brother? You gonna pay your bills, or you gonna go out tricking? You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna be like, yo, bro, you did work 40 hours this week. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mentality that it come with. But at the same time, bro, like, my thing is, like, all of these organizations, like, you think their think tanks just come out of nowhere? Their think tanks are funded, right? It's a reason why they are able to like raise money for their killers and stuff like that, and we aren't able to raise as much money for the people in these particular situations because we don't have the same kind of thing, and we trying to struggle to survive day to day. And you're asking people who's in survival mode, like, well, what is your plan before I give you this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, do we need a plan? I absolutely think we do. You know what I'm saying? But who is even talking about that when we hungry from day to day? You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. I hear that because you are talking from a different perspective. But the reason why I asked that question is, if 45 million people, just say, but I understand your perspective, but if 45 million people who have a spending power of trillions of dollars, this is more powerful than many countries in the world. Many countries in the world don't even have the spending power than just 45 million people. And if they decide collectively that the United States government has paid us, we're going to do this, the whole world going to really want to know, okay, are they going to go along with the white guys in the United States, or are they going to be, what would be, many people would be very interested to know. But that kind of money and leverage and education,
who would
training,
be wanting to know?
The Chinese,
forget them. Who cares what they think? Okay, next.
But hold on. No, like,
no, hold on. I'm curious to what, like, when the Chinese guy,
when they
got paid for the Exclusion Act. I'm curious what they did with their money, or when they got money or to put these stores in our community. I'm curious, like, how did they use that? Did they hire black people? I'm curious what they did with their money. It didn't matter they did it.
The rest, no, but it okay. So it would really matter to the rest of the black world, because the black world would want to know every country in the black world that you can see, every African country, every Caribbean country, everybody would want to know.
Why would it matter to Nigeria?
Because that would mean that y'all would be economically, y'all would be more powerful than Nigeria, the whole country itself. That would mean if you all was to decide to take your money collectively, the economic strength that them 45 million people would be much more powerful than 200 million people in Nigeria.
And you know,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You will automatically become the people on the top of the totem pole. Whatever industry you all decide to go into. Let's just say, because the Nigerians have oil. So whatever those 45 million people who have a spending power of trillions and trillions of dollars, whatever industry they decide to go into collectively, they're going to be competitors for the rest of the world market. They can affect the rest of the world market if you all decide to move collectively.
Now you know what's funny though, Bwana? Like, and this is how backwards that we think, right? If we had more pieces of paper with dead people on them that would have lynched us for this conversation, then we would have more power than the country who actually has the product that people need, the oil and all of the natural resources that actually you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if they had a global front with these natural resources, wouldn't you say that would make them the most powerful?
And what you're talking about, but in what you're talking about, but
that's what you're talking about, though.
Let me finish though. But if you all move like that, you're not just moving with the dead presidents, the dead hypocrites on a piece of paper. You all are also moving with technical knowledge and know-how that the much of the so-called third world don't have as well. Much of the so-called
Nigerians are smart as hell, bro. Stop it, bro.
I'm not
going to disrespect Nigerians.
Most Nigerians don't have the technical know-how that many African Americans have the benefit of having both. Most. You just seeing the Nigerians that come over to the Americas, and a few Nigerians who doing well. But the masses, I ain't talking about the few that you see.
I have to stop you before you get yourself in trouble, because I don't agree with you. But think about what you're saying right now. If you're trying to tell me that they are like don't understand anything, what you're saying, why would we care about what they think about us getting reparations if what you're saying is true? Why would we be like, oh well, they don't know anything, but let's not worry about what they think?
No, brother. There are many black folks in Americas who do feel like they have a good connection with the continent, the brothers and sisters of West Africa. So they're gonna affect those economies as well. If the African Americans decided to break off, they're gonna really affect those economies.
So it sounds like that was a good thing.
I would say no, but I never say it was a bad thing. I say it's a very
what
good
the
thing.
world? So you
asked me No, I in
No,
favor
no,
of
no. Of
separation.
course not. Hell
I'm
no.
in favor. I'm in favor of separation. Yeah, I'm in favor of separation.
Oh no, of course not.
No.
It can only help the people of West Africa too, but no,
No,
like not just
no,
Black
no.
America, but no, of course not. I'm not in favor of that.
We just put the forecast. We already discussed it. I am in favor when you talking about money, loss compensation, and things like that. But when we talking about other things, and you already didn't know. I already didn't give you my explanation for why I feel that way. But what I'm saying is that if you all was to move like that, many people will be watching to see exactly what happens. Because whatever you all decide
What does
to do,
that have to do with me though? What, like, so I should not get what I'm supposed to get because somebody else is watching me, is what you're saying?
No. You asked the question.
And you should also be getting, and whoever particular country should be, like certain countries should be going to Belgium and France, and I support that. I'll stand behind that. They should be also doing the same thing. That's the crazy part.
No, but you just stopping at money though. You going back to money.
You stopping at money. I named a bunch of other things the whole time, right? Because I just said the first thing is not getting taxed. You know what I'm saying? And then we talked about like we know we need the money because you brought up the education part. How are we gonna make these schools, bro? Like, of course we need education. We need Black teachers. Who's gonna pay them? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree.
Who's going to do all of these things? Where are we going to get money from? Of course, we need to get in these technological fields, or if we go back there, we're going to need the things to get the resources out of the ground. Where are we going to get the resources for that for? Right?
No, absolutely, I agree. No, I agree. I agree. Like I say, I think that money-wise, I think that my brothers in America do need to be money. They need to have their money given for the loss of labor and the loss of property. But like I say, there's other things on the table that you can't put a monetary value to. That's what I think.
Okay, so what can they do to repair that?
I think
nothing.
that it's
nothing, right?
nothing.
Okay, so they can do nothing to repair that, so they should do nothing at all? Or they still talk about this economic part, even though they can't do nothing about this part, they can still do something about this economic part, though, right?
Absolutely, they give you.
So we should talk about the economic part then. If they can do nothing about that, well, why waste?
Why are we talking about it?
Right. So we're going to talk about the economic part, right?
No, of course. But you wanted me to explain to you why I have the views on reparations, because I don't have that.
It sounds like you agree with reparations to me.
Absolutely. When it comes down to money, but when it comes down to other things, absolutely not. I think that the U.S. government don't have the ability to repair.
But you're the only one saying that, though, Buwana. Because we going. You keep repeating that, even though we.
But they don't mention it. No, but I'm saying that when people have those discussions, nobody addressing that issue, because it's almost like money to cure all the problems that my brothers and sisters in America, or even anywhere else, because I hear other reparations arguments.
Okay, you said we can do this. So how can we repair ourselves?
You will have to make a connection back to the brothers and sisters in West Africa.
How do we do that?
You chop on a friggin' plane.
How much? So that costs money, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we already had the money discussion though.
So if we don't, but that's but you're against that though. How can they go back there with money in their pockets?
Forecast. I'm not against money, bro. You won't be listening to our conversation.
Okay. So you are in favor of reparations. Then.
No, I say that absolutely loss of labor, loss of
right.
property should be given
right.
back. All the things, but.
You better give a card to come on here with you next time. You know what I'm saying? But
I ain't trying to win an argument.
I'll just bless it with you. I'll just play.
No, I just trying to give you some clarity on why I feel certain ways about reparations and where I stop in terms of the reparation discussion. I just was trying to bring some clarity. That's all from my end. From my end, yes.
Well, I would say I don't agree with the people who say that we are American, because obviously that is not true. You know what I'm saying? But even what you're saying, like, I just being honest, I don't think it makes sense, because like even when you're saying it stops with that discussion because they cannot repair it. but you understand the other parts, but you know that even if they give us something or don't, they can never repair that. But like, we know that like things that we can do to repair that is to rebuild our, like, even the churches how they used to be, or the school systems, or our personal banks. But we need money for that, or our farms, you know what I'm saying? We need to feed ourselves, but all of these things cost money, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I'm like, it doesn't really make sense when you're saying you get the economic part, but you're also against it because they can't restore something that like we can't get restored anyway, you know. Not saying that it's not important, but that's why we need to get the money for the schools so we can restore it ourselves, you know. That's just what I'm saying. I just don't get that part, you know.
No, if forecast, if that's how you feel about it, I understand your position. I just think that when I hear the discussions, and yes, your belief is, well, why discuss it if they can't repair it anyway? I understand why you would say that. So why discuss it? You know, we really only discussing this labor issue, this monetary issue, because we know that these people don't have the ability to do all the other things that I would have mentioned, right? But my thing is, when I hear the discussions from time to time, it seems like when you guys get that money, all them other things that we talked about is going to be cured. It seems that way. Like, all I need is that money, and I can cure all the other issues that you take away from me. I'll be able to solve in my life with a dollar figure. You know, and I think that that's a wrong argument. I don't think that's a right argument. I don't want.
Yeah. No, well, Bwana, and listen, like you keep going back to that, you know, and I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, right? And it's not just not talking about it, but it's even further than that, bro, because we do need to talk about it, but we need resources, like, because nobody care what I'm talking about. If they hungry in the streets, they gonna go do what they doing, bro. Like, it doesn't, like, that's the part what I'm saying, like, for us to be able to hire the teachers and stuff. And then my other thing is, I think that y'all get too caught up in that ADOS whole argument thing, and that's my only issue with all of what y'all be saying. Like, that's why I stay away from all of that ADOS stuff.
You think we get caught up in the ADOS?
I know y'all that's all it, like, not just you. I'm not talking specifically about you or Black Bitter Medicine, because I'm including Bakari, I'm including all of that in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really don't necessarily, I subscribe to first Afro Think Tank, but I don't necessarily follow him because I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he say, you know what I'm saying? But like, us all that this all day is ADOS this, ADOS that, like, and that's not even, I don't even think that's an argument from them, bro. Like, you know, from us, you know, and that's my thing. Y'all get caught up too much on that, and then y'all base the whole argument on that. And I remember that whole thing because it started with the immigration, with the Mexican kids in cages, and people was like, nah, forget that, forget the immigration. And then people was like, oh, well, no, not just immigration, because Black immigrants too. And then it started getting gray area, you know what I'm saying? But like, I remember that whole thing when it started, and I intentionally never talked about it on this page, you know.
Yes. Maybe you know what forecast it for just on a mental health kind of issue. I try my best to stay away. I'm trying my best now to stay away from the whole FBA business. I don't think it's good mentally, and I doing my best to really try my best to avoid certain discussions. I really don't want to talk about it no more. So I understand where you are with it. But I want to ask, what is the next topic you want to discuss in terms of your history stuff? Because you usually like to talk about these things. What's the next thing that you have in the pipeline for that?
I'm not really sure. I was just talking about the York riot in 1969. What I'm doing is I'm working on, like, what I did. It takes a long time because I try to write down everything in Black history from like the 1400s to like 2020. You know what I'm saying? And then I have to go back over it to make sure everything is right, you know, and then it take a long time. So what I'll be doing the lessons out of that, but then it take a long time to make the videos. So I'll be
no sweat, man. And at your time, I like them though. You know, I like them. I learned a lot of them. So you know, I'll just wait until you're ready, brother. But I'm out. You know, I just wanted to have a little talk with you. But it's been good. Yeah. But I'll talk to you later. I'll continue to listen though.
Appreciate you coming on. I'm about to get off of here. I appreciate you
sweat.
coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wanda definitely. I'll call and Bakari. It ain't no. It's all love with Bakari, but he be saying that too. But listen, man, when y'all be like that victim stuff, like, listen, if I was to steal your car, that makes you a victim of a crime. It don't mean you're helpless. You don't mean I'm superior to you. I mean, I stole your freaking car and all. Like, and if even when he was talking about rape, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these cases, they have restitution in these cases where they have to pay up, you know what I'm saying? And it's not just about the money. And that's what I'm talking about, Raw. Like, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they saying like it's the bloodshed, but it's not going to be that way. And they're going to pay for every single thing that they did. Believe me. You know what I'm saying? But that's when people talking like, yeah, definitely financial, because like in the reality, people is like hungry. People want to eat. People need stuff, you know. Now, I don't agree with this whole American stuff and all of this stuff. And we just want to be whatever. But listen, I definitely understand. I'm like, yo, when people are against that, it's just, you know, I don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, like they aren't going to stop doing what they do, you know what I'm saying? And that's the part I'm trying to understand. It gets you to understand, well, not y'all in particular, but that's why I came on here for us to see like the same things happen over and over and over and over. And we do the same thing over, trying to get acceptance, trying to get love, you know what I'm saying? We seen the boy here. Yeah, who's gonna make them pay, you know? And if we ain't gonna make them pay, they ain't gonna pay, you know what I'm saying? But they are going to pay, you know, one way or another. Trust me, Raw. You know, they are definitely going to pay. You know, it's over for that. And I don't care how weak Black people is acting, none of that. It doesn't matter. You know, they are definitely going to pay for what they did. You know what I'm saying? As like, believe me, you know. But anyway, you know, that whole argument gets colluded. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get up out of here. Trying to think what I should, you know, I'll just play this last thing. Now, exactly, Raw, you know, and you already know the answer of how they really gonna pay, and it's going to come. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, like it will happen. It may not be with the people who is alive now. That's the problem. That's the people who are alive now. That's the problem. But no, listen, that's why you put the on the next generation and all of that. But yo, it's going to be a time where it goes down. It's like this brother said. When we understand that this is you know, really the only way.
We're just fed up. Said enough is a lack of evidence. People were just fed up. Said enough is enough. And although it might not have been right, people went home and got their guns and started standing off sentries in the neighborhood. And anybody white or anybody that came through that neighborhood that wasn't supposed to be there got shot at.
All right. So, you know, we scared to say their name today, you know, but we're going to talk about all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't letting them off the hook. Nothing. Forget that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Right. It will definitely be done, Raw. But eye for an eye. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.